looking at the Mpumalanga trial from 2023. In the diagram, a is negative 2 is to 0 is the x-intercept of h of x. 4.1. Calculate the value of a. We are given h at x is equals to a over x plus 1 plus 2. In order for us to be able to find the value of a, we need to substitute a point that is on the graph. In this case, we are going to substitute a, which is negative 2, is to 0. 0 is equals to a over negative 2 plus 1 plus 2. Therefore, the value of a is equals to 2. 4.2. Calculate the average gradient of h between x is equals to negative 4 and f at x is equals to negative 2. In order to calculate the average gradient, we need to find the change in y over the change in x. So this means that we need 2 points. We need the value of x and y for both points. We currently have the value of the x's for both points. So what we need to find now is the corresponding y values. We will use h of x, which is equals to 2 over x plus 1 plus 2. We want to know what the value of y is when x is equals to negative 4. We also want to know what the value of y is when x is equals to negative 2. So we're just going to say 2 over minus 4 plus 1 plus 2 is equals to 2 over negative 4 plus 1 plus 2. I am getting a 4 over 3. Well, I can see that when the value of x is negative 2, y should be equals to a 0. The coordinates that I will have will be negative 4 is to 4 over 3 and negative 2 is to a 0. The average gradient should be equals to the change in y. It will be 4 over 3 minus a 0 and then negative 4 minus minus, which will give me a plus 2. This should be 4 over 3, negative 4 plus 2. It gives me a negative 2 over 3. 4.3. For which values of x is h at x greater than 4? Okay. Well, I can see that this equation of the asymptote must be negative 1, and this one should be y is equals to a 2. So my line should be there. That should be the y. Okay. So I want to know where h at x is greater than 4. Let's find the value of the y-intercept. For y-int, we will set x equals to 0. Should be equals to 2 over 0 plus 1 plus 2, which is equals to a 4. The coordinates there should be 0 is to a 4. Now I am going to look at where h at x is greater than 4. I can see that h of x is greater than 4 from that point all the way to, don't forget, the graph shouldn't cut or cross over its own asymptote. So this graph will go up until infinity, but it won't cross over or it won't touch x is equals to negative 1. Therefore, my solution will lie between these 2 points, from here to there. So x should lie between a negative 1 and a 0. 4.4. Determine the equation of the axis of symmetry of H that has a positive gradient. Leave your answer in the form y is equals to, the gradient should be positive, plus c. Here you are going to substitute the y value of the asymptote, and there you are going to substitute the x value of the asymptote. Y is equals to 2, and then x is equals to -1 plus c. So c should be equals to a 3. Therefore, that equation will be given by x plus 3, 4.5. Write down the equation of the asymptotes of G if G is the reflection of H over the x-axis. I want us to understand what is happening here. Now, you don't have to do this. I just want to make it easier for you to understand what is it I'm about to do. Now, let's just say I have a point there. The coordinates should be, let's just say the coordinates are A is to B. My x, in the first quadrant, my x is going to be positive, and then my y is also going to be positive. Now, they say the reflection of H over the x-axis. This is the x-axis line. Now, I want you to imagine that I am reflecting this point over that line, right? And then that point is now going to be there. The value of A will not change because I am reflecting it across. I'm not moving the graph to the left or to the right. I'm just moving it across over the x-axis. But my B is going to be negative because the y values there are negative. So it means that each time when I have to reflect the graph over the x-axis, it means that my y values will take a different sign. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. My h, okay, they told me that g of x should be equals to h of x, which is equals to 2 over x plus 1 plus a 2. So we said here, when we move this whole thing over the x-axis, it is the y values that obtain a negative sign. Well, I know that h of x represents what? The y values. So I am going to put a negative there. Okay. So now my g of x will be equals to, I'm going to divide, so for this part, I'm going to divide both sides by that negative, by -1. I'm going to be left with h of x, which is equals to, and then the negative will come there. So I would have a 2 over x plus 1, and then the negative will also go there. And then that would be a 2. Okay. So we can see that my g of x will be given by -2 over x plus 1 minus a 2. So the x asymptote doesn't change. X is still going to be -1, but the y now will be equals to a -2.